Now it's 7 months since the passage of Hurricane Beryl here in Carriacou and PM, Martinique, and lots of things have been done, rebuilding, the process of assisting residents, assisting with all kinds of support, giving all kinds of support as the Build Back Better and recovery gets into motion. Ms. Isaac will give us an update as to what is happening and how can we, as a community as well, support the process, because at the end of the day, it is about us, the people, who are going to be benefiting. The Optimist Show is about news, information, entertainment, and activism. Welcome to the Optimist Show Podcast, and we want to welcome all of you wherever you are this time, and thank you very much for joining us as we continue to keep hope alive. The Optimist Show brings you the information as it is, and so we are glad to be with you today so that we can share together. Please like and share, subscribe to our channel, The Optimist Show, keeping hope alive.
It's estimated 1 in every 10 people in Grenada have the sickle cell trait. Having the trait does not mean you are sick or unhealthy. Very healthy people have the trait. Unfortunately, many of these people are unaware that they carry the trait. You see, when 2 people with the trait have a child, there is a 1 in 4 chance that the child will be born with the sickle cell disease. That is why it is important to know if you have the trait. Sickle cell is associated with life-threatening conditions, and it can be very painful. You see, the body's red cells can pass freely through the arteries and veins, but the sickle cells can get stuck, and this is what causes pain. This disease, you cannot catch it from someone. It is inherited. You are born with the trait or the full-blown disease. It comes from your parents. So let's talk sickle cell and what it is about and what can be learned about it and how to live with it. Let's all make better decisions about our family's health by learning the facts and getting tested. A message from the Sickle Cell Association of Grenada. Please call 458-6399 or email us at grenadasc@gmail.com.
For 3 weeks.
This song is dedicated to all my people. We shall rise. We shall rise. Oh, rise. And we shall grow stronger than before. We shall rise. Oh, rise. And we shall go further than you know. We shall rise above all nations. No more shall we be under the ocean. One home, one nation. So shine your light on me, my beautiful people. Come on and set us free. We shall rise, oh, rise, and we shall grow stronger than before. We shall rise, oh, rise, and we shall go further than you know. Deep, deep. Lord, people crying, calling for their Savior. Lord, can't you hear us? Can't seem to find a way home. Be strong, my beautiful people. Hold on, my beautiful people. We shall rise, oh, rise, and we shall grow stronger than before. We shall rise, oh, rise, find their way home. Can't seem to find their way home. People crying, can't seem to find their way home. Can't seem to find their way home. Can't seem to find their way home. Hi, my name is Rhonda James Joseph Noel, and I watch the Optimist Show.
Well, let me welcome at this time all our viewers to this segment where we feature activities that's taking place here in Carriacou and the Petite Martinique. And with me on the line at this time is Ms. Deana Isaac. Ms. Deana Isaac is the Public Relations Officer for Carriacou and Petite Martinique Affairs. And lots of things have been happening here in Carriacou, and we want to welcome and say good day to Ms. Isaac, and thanks for being part of this podcast.
Thank you very much, Mr. Coy, for giving me the opportunity to keep the public of Carriacou and Petite Martinique informed, and by extension, Grenada and the region and the diaspora as to what is happening in Carriacou and Petite Martinique, especially post-Hurricane Beryl.
All right, we're talking about post-Hurricane Beryl. So many things have been happening since that experience with Hurricane Beryl. But I just want to ask you, I know that a few days ago that there was this town hall meeting, which really brought out many people. What, in your view, what were the outcomes, and how do you see that being part of the process going forward?
Well, Minister for Carriacou and Petite Martinique Affairs and Local Government, Honorable Tevin Andrews, who is also the MP for Carriacou and Petite Martinique, the Member of Parliament, hosted a town hall meeting last Thursday. That was to keep the people of Carriacou and Petite Martinique informed and to update them on further plans and progress for Carriacou and Petite Martinique for 2025, especially as we recover after Hurricane Beryl that hit us on July 1st, 2024. So he highlighted a number of the projects that are currently on stream and some of the infrastructure projects that is to come on stream in the coming months, especially after the budget is read for 2025. Mr. Coy, as you know, following the passage of Hurricane Beryl, the Ministry of Carriacou and Petite Martinique Affairs and Local Government, and by extension, the Government of Grenada, embarked on a recovery plan for Carriacou and Petite Martinique, taking into account the damage that was done, significant damage that was done to our housing stock. Therefore, one of the first things that the Ministry of Carriacou and Petite Martinique Affairs did was to initiate a material support program. So the Minister of Carriacou and Petite Martinique at his town hall meeting highlighted that. At present, over 2,000 persons on Carriacou have received material support, and a significant number of persons on Petite Martinique have received significant material support. So with that, the people who were at the town hall meeting, and I was also gauging it online, were very happy to hear that the government is giving the $15,000 and continue to give the $15,000 material support. So that was highlighted. We've had some support given to some farmers and the fishermen. The minister highlighted and apologized for the delay that we have been experiencing in terms of not all farmers and fishermen have yet been able to receive that income support. However, the government is committed, as he said, at that town hall meeting to fulfill their commitment to the farmers and fisher folks of Carriacou and Petite Martinique. So the town hall meeting was to at least update the public, keep them informed, because it is important, because as public officers, we are working for the public. We are not working for ourselves. So those things were highlighted. He highlighted that the Top Hill Senior Citizens Home residents and staff are back in Carriacou. They returned in December, on the 15th of December. We say thank you to the owner that hosted us at Trouble Bay, that hosted the staff and residents at the Top Hill Senior Citizen Home. We also want to extend thanks to the Rotary Clubs of Grenada, who took on the Top Hill Senior Citizen Home as a project to ensure that the staff and residents can return in soon time. So they're back, they're fully in operations. Minister extended a lot of gratitude and thanks to them because the staff, from what I understood, took a lot of blows, from the hurricane in trying to secure the residents there. So we have to say hats off to the staff at the Top Hill Senior Citizen Home. We hope that you can continue the good work that you are doing for the senior citizens of Carriacou and Petite. So the town hall meeting was very well received, and we are very, very thankful to God for taking us thus far. And as we move forward in 2025, new projects will be announced for Carriacou and Petite.
I understand that the town hall meeting was also not to highlight just the achievements, but to talk about what is coming and what is going forward. Tell us, what are some of the things that are in the pipeline going forward that the minister mentioned at the town hall meeting?
One of the key projects for Carriacou and Petite in terms of the infrastructure is the completion of the Bel Air Hospital Road. As we speak now, the bottom end is being completed. We had to hold up construction there because of the passage of Hurricane Beryl, and we had to use it as the main road to get to the eastern side of the island and to get to Bel Air. So now that work is continuing. However, when the budget is read, the next half of the Bel Air Hospital Road will be constructed. Another major infrastructure project that will happen for Carriacou and Petite is the cultural center. And he highlighted that part of the cultural center's function will be a senior citizen center for Carriacou and Petite, where senior citizens can actually go out and socialize and have some form of entertainment. Also, we are looking and considering a second home for Carriacou and Petite, a senior citizens home, so residents can also have another choice of spending their senior years among folks like themselves. So those are some of the things that he highlighted. We will continue with the agricultural projects, the projects in social development, and all the other areas of the ministry. Our sporting facilities will also be looked at in 2025. I must say that the sports minister, Honorable Delma Thomas, was on Carriacou just last week to look at the condition of the Lauriston mini stadium because we're looking at hosting some of the schools for sporting activities for 2025. So within the coming weeks, we will see some work getting started on the Lauriston mini stadium. The other fields, as you know, are still being used for dumping sites. Mount Pleasant and Dover have since been cleared. So that is ongoing, but the government is committed to getting the Lauriston mini stadium back up and running for 2025. But the major other projects for Carriacou and Petite will be announcing the budget that is expected to be read by the end of February into the month of March.
All right. So that's some of the expectations, and that's what came out basically of the from the town hall meeting. The crowd was the crowd to your satisfaction? People coming out to hear what is happening and engage, asking questions.
Mr. Koy, I must admit that I did not attend in person as a public relations officer. I gauged it online. The reason being that I am also the chairperson for the Carriacou and Petite Celebrations Committee. So we were out at the Botanical Gardens for almost all day into the night, starting decorations for Independence Parish celebrations in Carriacou and Petite. So I had to join online. However, while being in the gardens, I saw some persons leaving because they said there was no space for them, so they had to follow online. So that was good that the turnout was good. It shows that people are interested in what is happening in Carriacou and Petite, and they also want to have a voice as to what should happen in Carriacou and Petite.
You mentioned a very interesting issue, and I wanted to get your take on that. The democracy that we practice is participatory, and how important it is for us as citizens to be engaged, to engage our leaders and the government generally in understanding what's happening, in fulfilling the responsibilities as citizens. How important it is for us to engage other people and don't just take it for granted.
Well, as a public officer, it is always our duty to, and in my capacity as the public relations officer, that comes as part of my position to keep the people informed and to not only keep them informed, but also to give them a listening ear as to their concerns and suggestions for the development of Carriacou and Petite. So that is part of my responsibility. So it is very, very important because that is what will guide us as to the programs and plans that will propel the economy of Carriacou and Petite.
You mentioned early on about you were engaged, busily engaged, you and the team were busily engaged in preparation for our 51st anniversary of independence. What is it going to be like here in Carriacou for us?
Okay, for us in Carriacou and Petite, it is very, very important that we remember Petite. They are our sister island. There will be a number of activities. We'll be starting off in Petite with their church service on the 26th of January. That church service will be at the Petite Roman Catholic Church. It starts at 11 a.m. We are actually inviting persons from Carriacou to join in with us to Petite. So we have a boat, a charter from the Hillsborough Jetty at 10 a.m. on Sunday, the 26th of January. So we're asking persons from Carriacou to join with us to go to Petite for that special church service. Mr. Dwight Logan is leading the team in Petite, and we won another registration on Thursday. And as he highlighted, Petite will be doing something special for us. As per usual, the students of the St. Thomas Aquinas Catholic School will also be involved in the church service. So I think it's important for persons from Carriacou to come with us to Petite to see what Petite will be offering us at the church service. So after the church service on the 26th in Petite, we'll be having our award ceremony and cocktail. That is scheduled to take place at the Mermaid Beach Hotel at 7 p.m. on Thursday, the 30th of January. It is the time when we recognize our outstanding citizens of Carriacou and Petite. The folks from Petite will be joining us, and we'll be recognizing persons in various sectors, such as agriculture, culture, youth and sports, business. That award ceremony, we are also asking for support from the corporate citizens. As we have the different sectors, we'd like to have the sectors awards be supported by the corporate citizens. So that award ceremony, we're hoping that we'll have a live band and other forms of entertainment for persons attending. There will also be an element of surprise, which I will not say. So persons just need to come out and support the awardees on the night and support the Independence Committee. Also, after the 30th, we go back to Petite on January 31st for their family day and cook-up. That's just a special day for the Petite community to socialize and to have some cultural highlights. So that event will involve the school children, and that event will also include the adults of the community. So we want to say to persons on Carriacou, they can also go over to Petite to support them on the 31st. For Carriacou, we return on February 2nd with our church service. And this year's church service, as per usual, we're hoping to have members and the pastors and priests from all of the churches in Carriacou and PT Martinique. That church service will be held at the Carriacou Botanical Gardens at 9:30 a.m. So we're inviting everyone on Carriacou and PT Martinique to come to the Botanical Gardens on February 2nd for that special church service. Buses will be provided. As the time gets closer, we'll place announcements on the local radio station and also via the ministry's social media pages, so persons can know who are the buses going through the different villages to pick up persons for the church service. And our activities in Carriacou and Petite Martinique will climax on the said February 2nd with a cultural evening. That cultural evening takes the form of the cooking of oil down, 4 different types of oil down, plus our local saraka, our food. So definitely it will be a fun day. And we're also asking for the support of the communities, because we want the communities to come out to the gardens to help us with the cooking of the food. We have already asked for community leads so they can put together the team to come to the botanical gardens to cook the food that will be served free of charge to the public. People may ask why. The reason being, we want community support. We want to bring our communities together, especially as we rebuild and recover after Hurricane Beryl. The cultural evening, we're also asking for the students of the 6 primary schools and the 2 secondary schools to do a number of cultural pieces. So it will be a whole day affair at the Carriacou Botanical Gardens on Sunday, February 2nd. So we're asking the whole of Carriacou and Petite Martinique to be there from 9:30, because it is important that we give God thanks and praise for where he has brought us from. Because without him, we would not have been here today, especially what we faced on July 1st. And Mr. Coy, I know it's a bit of disappointing news for some people, but we will not be having a rally in Carriacou and Petite Martinique this year. We have to understand the challenges that come after a hurricane. So we will not be hosting a rally. However, when we went around to the schools to do the distribution of decorations, because we still want to ensure that the children and the community understand the importance of independence to Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. So the National Celebrations Committee supported us with new decorations for Carriacou and Petite Martinique. So myself as chair, supported by others, went to the schools across Carriacou, and we sent Petite Martinique their quota of decorations. And while visiting one of the schools, the idea came up by a principal that we should invite 5 students from Carriacou, along with a teacher, to join with us to Grenada on the 7th. Without going back to the committee, I said immediately yes, because we're not having a rally this year. Let us still expose the children to an independence rally. So let us go to Grenada on the 7th. And on the 7th of February, there will be a charter. We'll announce the boat very shortly, and that will be taking us to Grenada for the National Independence Rally at the stadium. So Carriacou will be represented. It is hoped that citizens from Carriacou and Petite Martinique will also join with us. All that we are asking for is for you to give us your name so that we can ensure that you have a seat on the boat. So any person that is interested in going to Grenada for the February 7th event, it is open. You are welcome to join us.
Who do they get in touch with to indicate their interest in traveling?
Okay, they can get in touch with me on 457-1308, or they can simply call the Ministry of Carriacou and Petite Martinique Affairs on 443-6026 to put down their names.
Okay, great. Ms. Isaac, we can go on speaking, talking, and we have lots of information. But I want to say here live that we want to have you on a regular basis. Might not be every week, but of course, on a regular basis on this podcast to share information and give us some insights as to what is happening. Finally, let me ask you, are you satisfied, or what's the status of the rebuilding process. We are here in Carriacou, of course, we talked about July 1st. Are you satisfied with the process and where we are at this time? Is about 7 months now? It's been going?
Well, Mr. Coy, I am sitting here in my professional capacity as the Public Relations Officer for the Ministry of Carriacou and PM Affairs. And from where I sit, I can say that the government is giving the support to its people. They're giving $15,000 in material support and $25,000 in material support for its public officers. I know that there is a general sentiment out there that cannot rebuild a roof, that cannot rebuild a new home, but the government is giving you a stepping stone. Yes, we are faced with some challenges, and from where I sit, there is a level of satisfaction. But as Minister for Carriacou and PM Affairs, Honorable Tevin Andrews said at the town hall meeting, we have to work together. In order for us to get to that high level of satisfaction, it is only 7 months after the hurricane, and the government has invested a lot in terms of assistance for persons. Yes, we got the 27 prefab homes from the people of Trinidad and Tobago through hands that serve that volunteer organization. And what we had to complete those homes. So the government did the construction of steps. They took the responsibility of doing the electricals. They took on the responsibility of doing the plumbing for the persons who have to go to those houses. So the government is doing quite a lot. We have the Division of Social Development. They have constructed over 20 houses already, 14 by 14, for persons who are considered vulnerable. We are working day in, day out to seek sponsorship, to seek the support of the corporate citizens of NGOs to ensure that we can do much more. Project Build Back Better is on stream. Over 25 houses is under construction. About the first 12 is almost completed. We have finally started in Petite Martinique. So that there is a level of satisfaction from where I sit. The Leicester Health Center is under reconstruction. The Windward Health Center is under reconstruction. Mount Pleasant Government School is almost ready for the staff and students to move in. And in the coming week, you can expect to see on the ministry's social page, Facebook page, social media, and it will be shared to every media house on Grenada and Carriacou to see the wonderful work that has been done by Creative Designs at the Mount Pleasant Government School. It's a whole transformation. I visited Mount Pleasant Government School last week when we were doing the distribution for the decorations for independence. And Mr. Coy, you live in the village. We're both from the village of Mount Pleasant. I am certain that you are happy with the transformation in terms of the reconstruction work that is taking place at the Mount Pleasant Government School. We were all students there, and I'm so proud of my alma mater, and I'm happy to see the difference and the positive difference the reconstruction will do to that school, my alma mater. So the principal was happy to state about the state-of-the-art kitchen. It is the first time in years. Even I went to Mount Pleasant School more than almost 40 years ago, So it's just to say that the reconstruction is happening. We may not like the speed at which it's going because we have material challenges at times, we have contractor challenges, but things are happening. The Windward Fish Market is almost completed. That is a fish market the Ministry of Carriacou and PM through the Division of Agriculture embarked on, and it's a new state-of-the-art fish market. The Christine David Child Development Center, although there are some outdoor and indoor things to be done there in terms of the fencing and some upgrades, has reopened. So parents with young children from ages 3 months to 3 years can take their children to the Christine David Child Development Center while they go off to work. Our fish market has been providing services since last year, couple months after the hurricane. Fishermen can go out to fish and come and sell their fish. The ice machine is now operating. They can buy their ice. Even persons without electricity can also purchase ice for their disposal and use. So, Mr. Coy, a number of things are happening. Our schools have gotten the support that they need. Minister of Education and Senator David Andrew and his entire team were up here for last week. They visited every school in Carriacou and went over to Petite. So the government is doing the best it can at this stage, but we need collaboration. This morning, I was very happy to attend a ceremony where 15 public officers from Carriacou and Petite were the recipients of a 14.5 cubic feet refrigerator. How did that happen? The Department of Public Administration within the Prime Minister's ministry, led by PS Deana Isaac Marshall, after the hurricane, came up with the idea of 5 to 15 promotion, they called it, where they asked public officers only on the mainland Grenada to contribute $5. Then they did a $10 raffle, supported by corporate citizens in Grenada. And then they did the 15, they used the 15, the number 15, for the number of persons that will benefit from the refrigerators. They did not limit the names to only persons attached to the Ministry of Carriacou and Petite Affairs and local government. They listed every public officer in that pool. And how did they do the raffle? The selection for the names? They did it through the computer system. So it wasn't somebody saying, okay, I'll give you a refrigerator. All public officers, police, teachers, and the general public service named in Carriacou and Petite were put into that pool, and the computer decided who are the 15 persons on Carriacou that will receive those refrigerators. And the company, Jonas Brown and Hubbards, played a major role in getting us those refrigerators, as PS Helen Marshall highlighted this morning. So we are very grateful to Hubbards, Carriacou, Court, and all the other persons who supported that venture by the Department of Public Administration. And there are much more initiatives to come, but we would like the support of the private sector, the NGOs, whether you're in Carriacou, Grenada, St. Vincent, wherever you are, in the region, in the diaspora, internationally, we are seeking your assistance in the rebuilding of Carriacou and Petite as we march on. I know we're 5 months away from the hurricane season, and I've been watching online as to what are the predictions, what are the projections, but I believe that God is good, so he will help us to recover before giving, if he has to give us anything else, it might be the next 20 years. But Mr. Coy, all jokes aside, I am satisfied, but I would like more from where I sit as a public officer, because I go to the villages. I also look at the stress sometimes on the faces of our very own public officers. I continue to say, I have a house to rebuild, I have a home to rebuild. And sometimes I forget that has to happen. And I think about the needs of my other co-workers. I went on the radio station on Vibes on Thursday, and I continue to say, please, we want to do a special project for our public officers of Carriacou and Petite, and not just the officers that work within the ministry, but the public officers are nurses, teachers, and the police officers. And there are many people who have given human service. Man, when you hear some of the stories of even the people, the staff at the top in senior citizens' home, what they did to secure the residents, and they for themselves, not knowing at the time that they lost their houses. The matron, Clavia McLean, Minister bigged her up at the town hall meeting as well, because he said, these are our unsung heroes for Carriacou and Petite. So many. How do you say thank you? How do you help them? We need the support of the corporate citizens and any individual out there who would like to partner with us. Call me. You can call me anytime. If I do not answer at the time, I will definitely return the call. So it is 457-1308. Reach out to us. We're building Carriacou and Petite hand in hand.
Well, thank you so very much, Ms. Isaac. I really appreciate the information that you shared with us today. And I'm looking forward to have more conversations. And from all of us on the Optimist Show, we want to wish you and your team all the best, and certainly appeal to our viewers. Let's support, let's give a helping hand. because this is not just about one person, two persons, or even one group, but this is about the entire citizens of Carriacou and Petite Martinique. So once again, thank you, and continue to share with us information that would help us along this journey.
Thank you so much, Mr. Coy, and thank you for that opportunity. And we will be back with you as long as we have information to share. We will come on to share it, and we want you to remember we have our independence celebrations, our church service in Petite Martinique, award ceremony and cocktail on the 30th of January, Mermaid Beach Hotel. Go back to Petite Martinique on the 31st for a family fun day. Return to Carriacou for the 2nd. All the activities on the 2nd will be at the Botanical Gardens. So come out from 9:30 to give God thanks and praise. And then we socialize as a community at our cultural evening and our food explosion. So thank you so much.
You're most welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Tossed and battered, bruised and knocked down, forever changed. But from the rubble, hope rises. The Optimist Show returns.
It's estimated 1 in every 10 people in Grenada have the sickle cell trait. Having the trait does not mean you are sick or unhealthy. Very healthy people have the trait. Unfortunately, many of these people are unaware that they carry the trait. You see, when 2 people with the trait have a child, there is a 1 in 4 chance that the child will be born with the sickle cell disease. That is why it is important to know if you have the trait. Sickle cell is associated with life-threatening conditions, and it can be very painful. You see, the body's red cells can pass freely through the arteries and veins, but the sickle cells can get stuck, and this is what causes pain. This disease, you cannot catch it from someone. It is inherited. You are born with the trait or the full-blown disease. It comes from your parents. So let's talk sickle cell and what it is about and what can be learned about it and how to live with it. Let's all make better decisions about our family's health by learning the facts and getting tested. A message from the Sickle Cell Association of Grenada. Please call 458-6399 or email us at grenadasc@gmail.com.
Well, that's it for the conversation with Deana Isaac, and it's a pleasure speaking with her. And we want you to like, share, follow this podcast so that you can get more information, in-depth information. As a matter of fact, you can always rely on the Optimist Show to get accurate, reliable information right here as we seek to keep hope alive.
We shall